Story time with Rocket.
My Grandpa is Not Grumpy. Written by Kally. My grandpa isn't grumpy, I'm sure that you will see, and once you read my story, I hope you will agree. Some say my grandpa's grumpy, I don't think it's true. You'd be a little cranky if you lost your teeth too. And you might even yell if brushing your teeth was the goal, when you find them in the morning floating in the toilet bowl. Who could really blame you for letting out a roar when your favourite t-shirt simply doesn't fit anymore? Didn't you feel embarrassed while getting a trim for your hair, when the barber uses a magnifying glass and can't find a strand anywhere? Instead, he takes great big scissors to see what he can do with your curly bushy eyebrows and the hair on your ears too. What are you supposed to do when you really have to go? Grandma took so long in the shower, you rushed and stubbed your toe. And wouldn't you feel so frightened in bed when you feel something close? The dog has snuck in beside you. You thought you'd seen a ghost. And sometimes you start to see red when your glasses go missing again, and you can't seem to remember if they're in the kitchen, bedroom or den. And you must know how it feels when you get sick with a cold. You can act just like a baby, so grab your teddy to hold. And who wouldn't be annoyed while trying to have a nap when a ball your grandkid was bouncing ends up in your lap? And wouldn't you get so frustrated when cutting the long nails on your toes? It takes so very long that you soon begin to doze. And you might feel discouraged when playing golf is such a chore that your teammate fell asleep while adding up your score. I bet you'd get pretty mad when you're looking for something sweet and someone has decided to help themselves by eating your favourite treat. You don't want to be in the room when Grandpa watches his hockey team play. He yells so very loud, even the dog won't stay. These things do annoy my grandpa, but he tries his very best. He's worked for a long, long time, so I think he just needs a rest. Grandpa tells me exciting stories. I think they're very cool. They're certainly more exciting than history class at school. Sometimes he takes me for ice cream, and then when we are done, he whispers in my ear not to tell my mum. I like to watch movies with Grandpa, but soon I don't hear a peep. I look over at his chair and he's fast asleep. I think Grandpa's a softy, 'cause when we go fishing all day, he'll catch a really big one and then let it swim away. Grandpa never misses my soccer games. He sits up high in the stands. He cheers so very loud, he drowns out all the fans. And when Grandpa looks after me, he takes me to the park. He lets me stay as long as I want, sometimes until it gets dark. Grandpa and I pack picnics and go on nice long hikes. When it's a nice summer night, we'll go riding on our bikes. Grandpa lets me snuggle on his lap and he'll give me a horsey ride. He'll even pretend to look for me when I'm trying hard to hide. He sometimes lets me hold the leash, which I thought would be fun. But the dog doesn't want to walk, he only wants to run. Grandpa will patiently watch me while I use my mic to sing. He claps and cheers and blows the horn, even though he can't hear a thing. My favourite time with Grandpa is when he tucks me in at night. He looks at me in a special way, then hugs me with all his might. So you see, Grandpa isn't grumpy. This is what I know. He's the best grandpa ever, and I love him so. Now that you've heard my story, I'm sure that you'll agree. My grandpa isn't grumpy. He's just getting old, you see. Mum says you must remember that one day we will get old. So I thought it was important that my grandpa's story be told. I love you, Grandpa. P.S. You're not grumpy. The end.
Story time with Rocket.